Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think he could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.
Black Friday savings are here at the Home Depot, which means it's time to add new cordless power to your collection. Right now, when you buy a select battery kit from one of our top brands like Ryobi or Milwaukee, you'll get a select tool from that same brand for free. Click into one of our best deals of the season and stock up on tools for all your upcoming projects. Get Black Friday savings happening now at the Home Depot. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in-store and online.
When you walk into a Burlington, you're walking into amazing prices and great gifts. That's main character energy. Because at Burlington, the holiday savings aren't the only things turning heads. Discover quality finds and perfect presents for everyone on your list, even those who are hard to shop for. Toys and jewelry to new beauty brands and styles, these gifts go seamlessly from our stores to under your tree. Seriously, with these savings, why shop anywhere else?
Burlington deals, brands, wow.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
I am consistently moved by how giving this audience is every single time we ask you to give on anything. And this can be a very difficult time of year for people who do not have money. And if you have some extra income where you just like to give kids that a lot of people don't care about a chance at Christmas with some toys, we're teaming up with Branches to do an annual toy drive that doesn't require you anymore to come to where we are and give us the gifts. We have updated this so that you could do it in the modern age, and we want you to do this with us by going to lebatardaf.com and shopping at Branch's Amazon wish list before December 15th. The things they want and need, and again, you can make a child's Christmas better with dolls, with remote control cars, with Nerf toys, board games, craft kits, building toys, Legos. You could see your options at lebatardaf.com. But if you have a little bit of income that's disposable and you want to make a kid's Christmas, we're teaming up with Branches in order to do this. And we're going to have an assortment of things around here over the next coming days where we'll do some things. What are you laughing about?
Or there's a nice little 4-star edge rusher in New Jersey that we could use down here, Kane's Connection.
Okay, that's not quite the Christmas spirit.
I've noticed that you say Legos.
Yeah. Mispronounced it.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
So
Legos.
Legos instead of Legos?
Yeah, the right way.
Okay.
Lego my ego.
How's it spelled? With an E, not an A.
What an hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy. You guys want to take a guess? LebatardAF.com is where it is that you go. It's a really easy way to help us help some kids that a whole lot of folks don't care about. So thank you for doing that in advance, because every time we do something like this, you do it very strongly. I want to ask you guys, I'm going to quiz the entirety of the room, and we'll stop this when you get all 4 of the names. See if, and you can just shout names at me, and I'll see if I hear them. The top 4 passers, yardage in a game this season. Yardage in a professional football, an NFL game this season.
They're all professional.
The top 4
Jared Goff.
Yardage totals.
Russell Wilson had one.
That's one. Yes, Jared Goff is not one.
Bryce Young?
That is another one. Go ahead.
You guys are playing this game right.
No, you can go ahead and play.
Patrick Mahomes.
That is incorrect.
Dak Prescott.
That is incorrect.
Sam Darnold.
Incorrect.
Josh Allen.
Incorrect.
Tua.
Baker Mayfield.
Incorrect.
Jacoby Brissett.
That is correct.
Justin Fields.
You're missing only the top name on the list. The one.
Daniel Jones.
Jameis Winston.
400. I haven't heard it yet. The 470-yard passer among
Shaw.
the group.
Caleb Williams.
That is incorrect. No, you don't think you'd know if he threw for 470 yards?
Jordan Love.
The top by yardage passer in the NFL this season in a single game, Joe Flacco.
Love that guy.
Oh, yeah, he had that game.
You remember that game?
game.
The game against Pittsburgh.
Still give you a game.
That very confusing game. Let's go ahead and play for the people before we go any further. The Boost mobile hotline that has been very inconsistent. The telephone number is 305-486-GOTS. 305-486-4689. How do you feel about this batch?
Fantastic, Dan.
The last batch was super disappointing to me. The last batch was not good enough. I am challenging the listeners and the callers to be better. That last batch was crud.
I couldn't feel better about this batch, Dan.
305-486-GOTS.
It's the Boost Mobile Boldest Take, presented, of course, by Boost Mobile, the newest 5G network in the country.
Hi, this is Russell from Wisconsin. I just turned 8, and my bold take is that Dad is a sucker.
They should replace NFL regular season overtime with a tug-of-war match.
Jameis Winston is the Tom Brady of Jeff George's.
Jeremy looks like he picks the safest dialogue options in video games because he doesn't want to hurt their feelings.
Can I unthank Jeremy on Dan's behalf for that James Madison pick?
Jeremy Taché is the Meg Griffin of the Batard network.
Messi in MLS is like Tom Brady joining the CFL. Stop acting like it matters. It's a joke.
If a slice of pizza could walk, would the head be the crust or the point?
I refuse to take a poop until Dan stops calling offenses constipated.
It was a good one. I genuinely
disagree.
think if a pizza is walking, the crust is the top. Like the crust is the head.
No, the point.
The point is the feet.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show.
I don't know how it would walk, Roy.
If a piece of pizza is walking, is the crust the head or the feet?
What if it's Sicilian?
I assumed that it walked on 4 legs. I didn't assume it had 2 legs and was an upright walker. I thought it just sort of slid the way that Matt Stafford slid.
That's so stupid.
No, yeah, it's two-legged. Pizzas are two-legged.
If you're putting eyes on a pizza, you're putting it on the top, the wide, near the crust. Like the eyes are not going by the pole. Like you guys
talking about Pizzagate.
Put it on the poll as well. What do you imagine is the worst feeling someone felt on Sunday? Was it, over the course of the weekend and the NFL games? I shouldn't say just Sunday because it was the Monday night game. Is it the panicked holder who ran after Younghoe Koo stubbed his toe on a field goal? Or was it Matthew Stafford hydroplaning 5 yards on his back from the 5-yard line to the goal line at the end of a pick six that he had thrown because he was blocked? And so he had to watch that touchdown. He got up very quickly because he didn't want to be seen in that condition, hydroplaning 5 yards on his back as the guy ran into the end zone with a football he had just thrown. Which do you imagine was the worst feeling someone felt? I know that Stafford is more accomplished than the panicked holder, but as a singular feeling, which one do you think is worse?
I mean, I think it was Juwan Jennings because now everybody knows he's a hoe.
I think it was the kicker.
The holder.
The kicker thing.
It could be also Younghoe Koo. It could just be Younghoe
Holder doesn't want to be part of the story.
But he's throwing the holder under the bus, though. He's not taking the responsibility for kicking the dirt. He's saying, I held up because I saw the ball moving.
Yeah, so what? Kick it.
Kick it. Right.
The ball was moving.
Okay, but if you don't kick it, you don't get any points.
Right.
That's correct. Well, you could if the holder in that panic situation does complete a pass. Unfortunately, there were no wide receivers. There was nobody running any routes, and so he was just looping over to his right, rolling out with a run-pass option that gave him the option of neither running nor passing. Let's play the sound again. Thank you. You're ahead of me. Of Aaron Glenn clearing his throat in the middle of a press conference.
The now is what's important for all guys to continue to understand, man, how do you win games?
That's more violent than the defense that Brian Schottenheimer was describing. That is as violent a throat clearing as you will hear at a press conference.
Uncalled for.
That's the Jets' offense right there. Constipated.
Reminds me of Mike dancing yesterday. That was great.
Mike was so happy when Marty Smith...
It was like 7 different dances all at one time.
Mike was so happy that Marty Smith said that Miami was better than BYU and Utah and Oklahoma and Notre Dame.
They're better than that whole lot of SEC teams. But thankfully, we're getting the CFP. That's what they told us.
What is the whole lot? Give me the entirety of the lot.
Ole Miss, Alabama, Oklahoma for sure. There is no more devastating result for Miami and their CFP outlook than Oklahoma winning that game in which Alabama doubled them up in total yardage. But they did what they had to do. Oklahoma seems firmly entrenched in there. But that whole lot of SEC teams, that 3, spot the ball. Let's go.
How is this going to go with Jessica in about 10 minutes when she comes on and argues? Jeremiah Love is on her podcast this week. It's a Notre Dame podcast. She is as biased as you are when it comes to one of her schools.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You think she's going to come off a little panicked?
I think they are. They are panicked. It's very clear. There's a tone shift right now because they see what's happening. And put me on truth serum, it does kind of suck what's going to happen to them if and when BYU.
That truth serum will show
Texas.
you don't care.
But it sucked what's been happening to me for the last month. It's been unjust. And on Sunday, they're going to right the wrong. The most obvious thing in the world is going to happen.
You could almost make the argument that Notre Dame fans will be more like what's happening to them is actually worse. Where like they're in it, and then at the last second, we're just going to be like,
wrong.
just kidding. Where they've been setting Miami's been being set up. Like you won't be that hurt if you don't make it because you've been. But you've been feeling for a month now that you're going to get screwed.
I've been feeling for a month. It's legitimately made me crazy.
But
I think you're right, Chris.
But the idea that at the last second, they're going to be like, you know what? Now Miami's going to
change our mind.
It's kind of bull. Tough. I've been living through a bunch of bull over the last month.
All right, put it on the poll. Is it kind of bull tough at Le Batard Show?
And by the way, he did just say, I'm going to feel bad for them.
At least we haven't felt the result of him feeling bad on the show.
I just need to stop everybody, though, because it's sort of... We had this conversation in some forms last year, the last few years, about Alabama, whenever it is that they're close and people just make the arguments for Alabama being in because they want to see Alabama because they're used to Alabama being in. It's bullshit. Right up until you consider that the entire point of doing this as a made-for-television spectacle is to get you talking about it for a month beforehand because somebody is going to think something is unjust. It's the whole thing that they're doing. It exists as content for that reason. They televise it every night. I am sure that ESPN gets better numbers whenever Reese just comes out and they contrive, let's do this made-for-television thing. And for me, it's as silly as if we were to interrupt the Country Music Christmas Awards on Monday to complain about, it's unjust that someone's not in here. It's all made-for-television entertainment spectacle. The whole point is to get you to argue about it. It's why the whole thing exists as a television special.
So if we get to Sunday and the things that need to happen for the Canes to jump Notre Dame and they still don't jump Notre Dame, they'll have been giving us this storyline over the last month and we won't get the payoff.
Well, the payoff is already in play. It's to get Mike yelling for a month and then replace it with Notre Dame yelling for the rest of the offseason.
The payoff is the debate, and it's been wildly successful. That's
the thing. It goes back, actually, to Chris Cody's ridiculous argument that Zion Williamson...
Oh, I thought they were going to say, do the right thing, ACC.
Zion Williamson, that's a different ridiculous argument. Zion Williamson, who still hasn't played in a playoff game...
Bust.
That him and his shoe being destroyed in a college basketball game was good for Nike.
Probably my best take ever.
Any attention is good attention. If you guys agree with me that the biggest sport in America right now is outrage of any kind. It's just yell about things.
Sure.
That the one place where the leadership has shown and proven to be good is they know how to get attention for a television special for a month without actual games being played on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, unless you got some action going on, which we all miss this time of year. It's the whole point of the contrivance is just to continue to get people to talk about your thing so that it continues to be bigger than all of the other sports. They're getting more attention not playing games than OKC is getting for having one loss and knocking off Golden State last night in an 11 p.m. game that nobody can watch on the East Coast.
11 p.m. is so late.
Because it's starting so late. Incidentally, if you did not see that game, OKC was up 1 late in the fourth quarter. Jimmy Butler left. Steph Curry is hurt. The Warriors are 11-11. Jimmy Butler looks a bit disinterested and left last night injured, and OKC does what it does to everybody. They needed to use Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the fourth quarter this time, but that game was close late, and then OKC is doing what champions do. Like this has been, I've told you guys before that two of the greatest things I've ever seen in basketball are the 72-win Bulls and the 73-wins Warriors being down late. Being down late in games was the best thing I've seen in the last 15 years in the sport. Well, I'm going back to Jordan now. When those teams got down late, they do what OKC did to Golden State last night, which is just choke them out the last 5 minutes. Because the thing that's not being talked about OKC-wise is their defense is better than everyone else's by a great deal.
So they're 21-1, Oklahoma City, and like you said, they have so much room for error every single game. They can play poor and still win by double figures. They're 21-1. At what point does their how many more do they have to win before they lose their second game for us to talk about, are they going to win 80?
That has to get to halfway through the season.
Like 40-1. 40-1?
It's so bad for basketball.
80?
Well, I think you're being ridiculous. I don't think they're going to win 80.
They never lose.
Why is that bad for basketball?
It's bad for basketball when you have that kind of disparity. When you have a 20-1 team and then you have a 2-17 team, and it's, you look at the bottom 5 of the NBA and they're already tanking. Like the season just started, and you have teams that have zero chance, and you have OKC, a dynasty in the making.
I guess every sport has a best team and 5 at the bottom.
Every team has
not to the NBA's degree.
I guess we've argued the NFL doesn't.
I don't know. The NFL seems to have every year 3 or 4 teams that pretend like they're trying at the beginning of the year, but with who their quarterback is or who they've signed in the offseason that they're not trying.
We'll
they're
get
going
back
for
to
the
this.
next draft.
Who's the OKC in the NFL this year?
No, there is not one in the NFL this year, and the Dodgers are that in baseball. But we'll get back to basketball because there's plenty to talk about in basketball in the next hour.
It's the holiday season. Fantasy football probably not going your way like most of America. Your football team, hopefully you're still in the mix. If your college football team is in the mix, congratulations, you've made it this far. Why don't you toast your friends with some Miller Lite at the holiday party? It is a surefire winner. It's a holiday season right now, so why don't you celebrate the 50th anniversary of my favorite beer, Miller Lite. Every time I crack open a Miller Lite, I look around at my friends and family and I think, yeah, this was a right call. It's a taste you know you can depend on, brewed for flavor, with simple ingredients like malted barley, rich balanced toffee notes, and that iconic golden color. And at 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces, it lets you enjoy the season without weighing you down. The best holiday beers are the ones you don't expect. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. 'Tis Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Folks, fuel your game day with the unbeatable crunch of Hampton Farms, the official peanut of bowl season. Perfect for sharing with friends, tailgating outside the stadium, or cheering from the couch. Grab a bag from the produce aisle of your local grocery store and savor the game one peanut at a time. Let's get nutty.
Holidays, fun. Holidays as a dad, tough. Travel, gifts, matching pajamas. Don't get me started on matching pajamas. It's hot in Miami. My wife says, why don't you want to do this with us? My daughter's crying. Anyways, school parties, hosting a family. Next thing I know, I basically put Christmas on my credit card and have no idea what I spent where. If you want to keep your finances under control this holiday season, you need to be using Monarch. Rated Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app at 25, Monarch's the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or on your phone. Right now, just for our listeners, Monarch is offering 50% off your first year, a massive deal. Monarch showed me how fast a holiday budget was disappearing. Flights, gifts, late-night online shopping, and helped me pump the brakes before the bill hit. Now my wife and I do quick money check-ins, look at our holiday spending category, and actually enjoy the holidays without starting January and the new year in panic. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code DAN at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DAN. And don't give me those matching pajamas, I swear.
Dan Le Batard.
Mr. Shirt, if I may say for a second, Miami, they were
Yeah, go ahead.
simulating the snap count the entire game, and they were clapping at the line of scrimmage. And the only thing I want to see clapping are them cheeks on Mrs. Met in my face, Mike Shirt. All right, so that's one thing.
Stugotz.
They're a bunch of cheaters, Dan. And you know who should be cheating? Mrs. Met on Mr. Met. And he can watch if he wants.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
But I wanted to bring Jessica in. As I told you, Jeremiah Love is on. I might have called him Jeremy. Jeremiah Love is on her podcast.
No, you would never associate the word Jeremy and love together.
Echoes is the name of the podcast that Jessica does. And how do you feel? Thank you, Jessica, for being on with us. How do you feel in general about what happened last night? Are you worried that they're gonna pull the rug out from under you? They're already setting it up so that you know that in a couple of weeks Notre Dame's all of a sudden going to be out.
Yeah, we'll see. I really don't know what will happen on Sunday, Dan, but like I've said all season, Notre Dame really didn't have anything to be upset about other than themselves for losing to Texas A&M in week 3. The margin for error is very slim when you only win 10 games, as you know, Vanderbilt or Miami or Utah or any of these other teams would tell you. So I think that they're one of the best teams in the country. I think that the stats would support that. I think they could make a legitimate title run, but that's what happens when you lose 2 games. You kind of are up to a little bit of luck. It would have been helpful for a bunch of teams if LSU could have pulled up the upset last weekend, or Auburn, or even UCF. Jeremy, way to go. But that didn't happen. So now you have to just kind of wait and see what the committee decides. And as we've seen, I think in years past, they tend to get it right at the end of the day, but the way that they talk about getting there leaves you with very little confidence in the process. So while they may end up getting it right, whatever your definition of right is, it doesn't help when they talk about how their methodology is working.
Well, what do you think is going to happen, and how scared are you of the nightmare scenario for you?
Assuming BYU loses.
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, if BYU loses to Texas Tech right now, they're a double-digit underdog. I think that it's possible Miami could jump ahead of Notre Dame. I'm not exactly sure why the committee would wait until the end of the season to do that when they could have done that last night. But I also think if you have a scenario where Alabama loses to Georgia, they could fall behind Notre Dame again. It sounded like it was a really close call between Notre Dame and Alabama at the 9 and 10 spots last night. And although we've seen in the past they don't kick teams out of the playoff for losing their conference championship games, they have dropped spots for losing conference championship games. So I don't think that there's stasis among the teams playing in the conference championship games. It will depend. If, let's say, Indiana gets blown out by Ohio State or vice versa, I don't think that those are going to be 1-2 next week. And I could be wrong, but I think that there's obviously a lot of scenarios at play.
Can you update us on any information you've seen around the Penn State thing that we have been talking about here before you came on with us? Because I'm having trouble sort of getting around the new rules that make James Franklin more important than the program brand that is Penn State when it comes to recruiting.
I would say it's one thing for a bunch of the heavy hitter candidates like your Lincoln Rileys or Marcus Freemans or Mike Elko's to not be interested in the job, because that all makes sense. Like Lincoln Riley's got the #1 recruiting class coming next year. Marcus Freeman's got the #3 recruiting class signing today. Mike Elko, obviously pretty happy where he's at Texas A&M. But then once you see like James Madison's coach or even like Brian Hartline looking elsewhere, like especially Bob Chesney, because he's a Pennsylvania guy and has DMV ties, that would be really helpful in recruiting at Penn State. That's where I'm like, it doesn't really seem like they had a plan other than they thought they could convince another like big time Power 4 name to come to Penn State. And it just seems like with the way that a lot of whether it's the 12-team playoff or NIL or sort of like the spreading out of talent and just more attractive jobs than ever for certain people, it just doesn't seem like you would want to give that up for the opportunity to maybe be like the second or third best team in the Big Ten at Penn State.
I actually happen to know.
Oh my God, he knows.
He happens to know.
Come, everyone. Come and listen.
Happens to know.
He happens to know. Well informed.
Chesney did finish second in the race to be Penn State's head coach. He finished behind Sitake. Sitake was done, delivered. They had their guy. And then the CEO of Crumbl came along and stole it.
But that's a huge miscalculation. And also, I think Sitake fits the profile, like I said, of like coaches where it would take a lot, clearly, to drag him away from BYU. I mean, that's obviously a school that means a lot to him. He's been very successful there. There's a lot of money there that they can tap into, and they appealed to all of his sensibilities and convincing him to stay, Mike. I think that that's a huge miscalculation on Penn State's part. And then, of course, you end up pissing off your number 2 candidate because you know, now it's too late. He's moved on. I think UCLA is also a fine place to end up in the Power 4. I think he's going to have a lot of work to do. But now if you look at recruiting rankings for Penn State right now, as it stands, that's not going to get anyone to come to your school either. Like, you got to, and now it's like at the point where, you know, obviously there's certain coaches where you could hire them and, okay, they're going to bring a bunch of transfers with them from schools, and those are going to be great players. And now it seems like a lot of those candidates are kind of locked in next year at where they want to be. So it's just becoming a worse situation, I think, by the day. And also, I think Penn State's been like, and Mike, you could probably attest to this too. They're like, we're going to run a quiet, very smooth. No one's going to know what we're up to. We're going to keep this under wraps. And it's like, well, what did that get you? Because now it's like you still don't have a coach. Like, LSU, say what you will about their governor embarrassing them and like publicly lusting after Lane Kiffin, they got the coach they wanted. Doesn't matter. They got their guy. Shit ton of money. Yeah. He's going to sign a huge recruiting class. They're probably going to be preseason top 10.
LSU was a circus and Penn State was the model, and yet LSU gets their guy and Penn State gets left at the altar, and now they're looking at Manny Diaz.
Yeah, I mean, potential ACC champion Manny Diaz, and it seems like Penn State fans like Manny Diaz. I don't know if he has the upside of some of the other coaches that they were looking for, but he obviously was a popular person at Penn State, from what I can tell. I don't know.
I want to play.
Maybe not the worst.
I want to play for you some Schefter sound on Kevin Clark's podcast. You've probably heard this. What are your thoughts on this sound from Adam Schefter?
I don't think that there is a Ben Johnson this year at the NFL level. The only guy I could think of that would be in this category, and I don't know that he would be interested, would be Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. That's a guy that, to me, if I owned an NFL team, I'd want him on the phone right now. That's a guy that I would want to be hiring right now. That's a guy that I would be investing in right now.
That happened fast for Marcus Freeman, man.
He would look good if he ripped his shirt off.
That was
Ben
like
Johnson
the whole Bears
did.
strategy last year. 1 and 2 candidates. Look good with your shirt off.
Does Ben Johnson look good with his shirt off?
Oh, yeah.
Sneaky decent.
Good,
Sneaky
better,
decent.
best.
The Mississippi State of shirts off.
Well, I would be fine with playing that video
What does that
for
mean?
Jessica and having her decide. But what did you think of the sound?
I agree. I think Marcus Freeman's a great coach. I think, you know, you would be stupid not to kick the tires on trying to hire him if you're an NFL team. I don't know his personal interest level, but if he's interested in it, then yeah, he's a great head coach.
Let's play this video then for Jessica and see if she is as impressed by Ben Johnson shirtless as we were.
Sneaky decent.
Wow, stealing my lines.
So that's why Greg was doing. Okay, now this is all coming together. A lot of things are making sense to me right now. Dan, I would also add, I believe Marcus Freeman was on the Today Show today and was asked if he was going to stay at Notre Dame, and he said yes.
He looked a little broken.
Why?
Because he knows what's happening on Sunday.
Okay, I think he just looks fine, honestly. But sure, Mike. I think that the college football playoff discourse is like gotten to a kind of a toxic point when your podcast is tweeting that Jim Phillips should resign as the ACC commissioner because he's a Chicago Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
So
No.
yeah,
that's not the only reason.
Who's
he should
behind that
resign.
account?
I mean,
there's several. I could. How much
You
time
did
do you
post
have?
that.
I can relay a bunch.
What are you excited about this conference championship weekend coming up?
Man, all of it. Honestly, starting with Friday night with Mountain West, Boise State, UNLV rematch. Saturday, obviously the Big 12 championship, I think, is the one that the most people will have their eyes on because it has the most clear-cut stakes attached to it, whereas I think the Big Ten championship is two really, really good teams playing against each other that we all know we're going to see play again in the postseason. And the SEC championship, I'm curious. I'm curious if Georgia can pull it off. Kalen DeBoer has been really good against Kirby Smart in his short time at Alabama, but Alabama, I think, probably feels safe in the playoff, but would really like the security of an SEC championship. And then there's also the question of, like, would they move up into a bye position if they beat Georgia? So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of great games this weekend. Even like Dan Maction. Maction is going to be great. It's not going to get the eyeballs, but man, I will be rooting for Miami of Ohio all morning on Saturday.
Let's go ahead and examine what Jessica was confused about. I'm not sure. Did we start doing this daily after shows after Jessica left? Because I felt like she was involved in all of these when we would do it after shows daily. I want you guys to notice here how excited Mike Ryan isn't and how much Mike Ryan isn't participating, as has been the case since we started this daily tradition months ago.
I was legitimately worried for my dad during this.
Profound indifference
if you
from
see
Mike
that
Ryan.
Midway, Mike Ryan.
Look at a lingering Roy, like the smell left in a bathroom after someone's left it, after Andy Reid has left it.
It was made very clear that Greg wasn't taking his shirt off, so it's like, if he's going to half-ass it.
Although he yelled so hard, you can see me in there midway through
Settle
give
down.
him like a, hey, don't kill yourself doing this.
You were choking me, Dan.
You look very excited. Look at Roy in the background there, just profoundly indifferent.
That's right, yeah.
Surrounded by joy.
Roy had done Tesh all day, so he was broken.
Sitting on the fringes of our fun. Jessica is always, she's got good taste when it comes to televised and movie entertainment. So what are you watching, or what are you recommending these days for our listeners?
Dan, what do you know about the new Knives Out movie?
Wait, is there a third one? There's now a third one? Or
There
is it the
is a
second?
third-
Okay,
the
so
third
you
one.
guys were recommending the second one, and I haven't gotten to that. I like the first one.
Don't even bother with the second one. We're well past. There's too many COVID references. It's not going to age well. I haven't rewatched it since it came out, but you just don't worry about it.
So there's a third one now, and you're recommending it.
The third one is currently in theaters. They're doing a limited theatrical release, and then it'll be on Netflix next week. And I went to the theater and saw it yesterday, and it was so good. It is probably my favorite of the three. If you like whodunits, Dano, I don't know. This one might be one of the better whodunits I've seen in a while.
Can I ask you seriously? Like, I like going to the movie theater also, but why would you go to the movies when it's coming out at your home next week?
Because it just looks so much better on a movie screen, and also I just had 2.5 hours to kill, so why not?
I like going to the movies.
I do too, but my preference is always watching my couch.
Well, you've helped kill the movie theater.
Sounds like you don't like movies that much.
I didn't do
Yeah, it
anything,
sounds like you don't.
really.
I think
Movie
Zaz, it totally depends. If it's a movie that I'm not that excited to see, don't care that much about, like, yeah, I'll just watch it at home. I'll wait for it to come out on demand. But if it's a movie that I think I'm really gonna like, it's so much better to watch it at the theater than watching it on my TV in my little small apartment.
And it's your
Sound like
favorite of the three, right? That first Knives Out was very good.
I would say it's not as funny as the first one. There's not as many laughs, but it's overall, like, the writing is better. It has like more deeper themes to it. It's not just like a quirky, funny, whodunit. It's like, oh, there's actually some depth to this, which I thought was nice. Have you guys seen Poker Face on Peacock? I think it recently got canceled. Yeah, so Ryan Johnson is the mastermind behind that, that show is kind of like a modern spin on like a Columbo type show, Dan, where you know who did the crime before the detective shows up, and the detective in that show is Natasha Lyonne. This is obviously not like that. I was trying to figure out what was going on the whole time, and I couldn't figure it out. It was a very good mystery, but just the general genre is one that I love, and I think that this really knocks it out of the park.
All right, look, it's the holidays again, and people are running around and getting stressed out, and they're asking me, Roy, what should I get? What should I do? Give me some recipes. And every year I tell them the same exact thing. Get meat. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. It's meat. And Omaha Steaks, they deliver the world's best steak experience. USDA certified tender steaks. It tastes like someone actually cares about you. Burgers, steaks, comfort meals. All that stuff makes you go, that'll work. And now during the cyber sale, you can get 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off with promo Dan at checkout. I've had Omaha Steaks many times. I've given them out too. People lose their minds. You hand them that box and suddenly they think you're the greatest human alive. 5 generations, same family, 100% guaranteed. Save big on unforgettable gifts with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites during the cyber sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code Dan at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code DAN at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details.
Thursday Night Football's on, and it's only on Prime Video this week. The Dallas Cowboys take on the Detroit Lions in a new rivalry with lots of heat. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with football's best party, TNF Tonight. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. It's the Cowboys and the Lions, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
You ever find yourself late night scrolling, adding stuff to your cart you absolutely don't need? And then you see it, the beautiful, glowing, purple Shop Pay button. Boom! Checkout done. You didn't even have to get up and find your wallet. That, my friends, is Shopify magic. That little purple button means that store is powered by Shopify, which doesn't just make it easy to buy, but ridiculously easy to start and run your own business too. Whether you're a giant like Mattel or Gymshark or just launching something weird from your garage, like Greg Cody's garage, Shopify has your back. Let's be real, if we can run a show with this much chaos, you can run a business with Shopify. With hundreds of beautiful templates, tools for payments, inventory, analytics, marketing, it's all in one place. And yes, that purple button, it's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. Shopify, it's how real businesses get built. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Batard. Go to shopify.com/Batard. Shopify.com/Batard.
Dan Le Batard.
I don't like Smetty either.
Stugotz.
Women stay home in the kitchen where they belong.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Thank you for including me with that Columbo reference. One of the most adorable thing my parents do is they continue on Saturday nights to text me, "Are you watching Columbo right now?" Because they're just watching a telethon.
It's Columbo season.
It's Saturday night.
Anytime it gets cold out.
They watch like 3 straight hours or 4 straight hours of Columbo, and they're confused by streaming, so they still think that it's on Saturday nights, and it's just a marathon of 1970s detective television.
I've never shared this story, but the lead in Poker Face is Natasha Lyonne, and there was rumors that they may recast this. When I was producing for the show in like the Waxy days, Dan, we used to have let's track this person down. So there was an FBI agent that called me like 15 years ago who was a fan of our show and asked me to help track down Natasha Lyonne. Yeah. Because any information that I might have, because he was looking to speak with
Revelation.
Yeah, that was something that happened. That was very strange. I feel like the FBI should have better resources than I had at Waxy.
Today's FBI does not. I can assure you of that. So HBO Max has a ton of good stuff. I remain stunned, and I don't know how he did it, how Adam McKay got the chair company to exist on HBO. It's one of the stranger things you will ever watch. Is there anything HBO Max related that you're either recommending or you think that is worth talking about?
By the way, another semi-whodunit. I mean, it's a mystery thriller, The Chair Company, so right up my alley. Dan, I don't know if you've seen the controversy about the Mad Men remastering in 4K that's been up on HBO the last few days, but apparently Mad Men, one of the greatest television shows of all time, highly recommend if you've never watched it now. They're all on HBO, but in remastering the Mad Men original film, I guess, whatever, film copy of it, they somehow took out some of the visual effects. And so there are scenes where you can see extras in the background. And in particular, there's one scene where Roger Sterling is throwing up. And you can see that guy in the back on the right is holding like the puke cannon that's going up along John Slattery's back and making it look like he's puking.
Oh my God.
And then there's a guy behind him with his hand like on his back, making sure he stays steady. So this is a pretty embarrassing mistake. I'm sure they're going to clean it up and fix it and figure out how all of that actually happened. But it's just a reminder of how many important people there are on the set of an important show. Buchanan guy's having his moment right now. I hope someone reaches out to him and gets his comment on this. But just as important to the shot as Don Draper and Pete Campbell watching Slattery puke up martinis and oysters.
That is pretty terrible, though. It's not as terrible as a Starbucks cup appearing in the 8th year of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right. Well, this did not, to be clear, this was not in like the original airing of Mad Men. They took the people out. This is in the digital remastery where they have made a few. There's a few television accounts that are posting like some of the differences and some of the things that they accidentally took out or didn't leave in from the original. So yeah, this was not AMC's fault.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju. Have you failed at life if you're being referred to as Puke Cannon Guy? Jessica, thank you for being on with us. Her and Mike Golick Jr. have Jeremiah Love, Heisman candidate, on their weekly Notre Dame podcast, The
Hold on,
Echoes,
wait.
this week.
Breaking news. I heard Puke Cannon Guy is now the leading candidate for the Penn State job. How about that?
Let me see here. I got.
Zaz, you know about that?
I love the the evolution of our show, in which giving Dan a button bar is just him saying, "Let's see here." Yeah. Second,
Okay,
and then
bye.
a delayed sound.
Yeah, glasses. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate your time. Appreciate it. Thank you. I wanted to get to some of the basketball stuff from last night. I don't know if you are seeing the quotes from LeBron James when he's being asked about how to manage his left foot injury.
Remember when I owned Nick Wright earlier today about LeBron?
Kept him out of Sunday's game. But the quote from LeBron is, "It's called old. You just wake up with that you didn't have the night before." End quote.
Great quote.
It's also true.
Most relatable
it's
thing
the
ever.
most human thing he's ever said. The guy's an immortal. He's a superhuman, but
My right elbow this morning.
It's hilarious. Like, well, I slept wrong, so I guess I'm a bad shoulder guy now for the rest of my life.
The quote is, "It's called old.
Oh, so likable.
You just wake up that you didn't have the night before." I believe in the history of our show, there has not been a funnier injury than Howard Bryant waking up one morning and tearing both his hamstrings getting out of bed.
Still on to that story.
How can you get tennis elbow if you don't play tennis?
Last night, though, the late game. How do we feel about a game starting at 11 p.m., the defending champions against Golden State? That's a game people want to watch. You put it at 11 p.m. Eastern, it's not a lot of people are going to see it. But also, getting back to the point I was making earlier in the show, Peacock having Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, and Carmelo Anthony doing the pregame while Bob Costas reads an essay that calls New York-Boston one of the great rivalries, when it's not. Like, that's not one of the great rivalries. It's just not.
In baseball it is.
But it's not. That's not what they were televising last night. What they were. It's not bad.
Yeah, but it's Costas.
This is what MLS is missing.
But Boston, New York is not a great rivalry in basketball.
Yeah, but in Costas's mind, he's thinking about baseball. He's always thinking about baseball, Dan, as he should.
Those broadcasts, though, on Peacock, they're really good. The idea that I'm watching just excellent regular season telecasts where there's a lot of money, it really is a golden age in sports. A weird time to have Inter Miami behind a paywall.
Folks, listen up. One touchdown can change everything. The crowd, the momentum, the entire game. It never gets old. Feel that same rush with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code Dan. That's code Dan. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think you could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.